Right now, we have seen so many new RPG games that will be coming up on mobile, but right now, I'm concerned about the RPG that has released on global or will be released on global, of course with a guarantee in the English version, which all players will understand and easily enjoy the game. But also, our team prepared the most realistic action RPG Android with a high graphic visual. Please help this video get 200 likes and comment which game are you playing right now. Top 10 Best High Graphic Action RPG Games for Mobile 2024 English Version Global Release. You can support this channel and send us a special thanks. Premaster. I didn't find any action RPG games that have martial arts as the main gameplay, and this game is truly magnificent and really represents the actual martial art we have ever seen in the movie. It has a great combination of the kung fu movement. Finally, the developer created a ragdoll pissing on any object that with touch and push can be broken, like the wooden table, wooden chair, and also the barrel. This feature really makes this game become more realistic. I really appreciate this update. The gameplay is the player will have two action buttons to hit by punch and also kick. Those actions can be combined to become a different combo attack. It depends on how many punch and kick buttons we press, then it will result a variety of action attacks. The block button will appear shortly, so we need to touch it faster. This is one of the best action RPG games on mobile with a realistic graphic. Anyway, this game should be playing manually. It's totally no autoplay RPG games for Android iOS 2024. Dynasty Warriors M. This franchise was really popular back then. It has so many players since it launched on console. The game really creates a great enthusiasm from players all over the world. Lucky we are, right now Dynasty Warriors is available to play on mobile right now. But actually, it has two versions that are playable freely. But for me, this game is better because of the game's graphic is really good. And also how the gameplay has a combination of RTS games and RPG, so we can build up and construct the building to strengthen our characters and also forcing the enemy's territory. There are three heroes that can be deployed in the combat, but we should switch each other based on the situation and also the element advantage. When your element is stronger and your power is boosted significantly, but when you have an opposite element, it will cause a disadvantage then. This is the best action game hack and slash RPG English for Android iOS 2024, but seriously, I think the developer should manage his game to become playable for mid-range phones. Chronicles of Infinity. Can someone tell me how possible this high graphic RPG game only has 2 GB size? Seriously, I think it should be more than that number actually. Look at how detailed the skill showcase is. The flashy colors are blended perfectly with the slash effects. The game's graphics are top tier for mobile games that are playable for mid-range phones. Let's go into the gameplay. It's pretty simple. Seriously, even the newbie will easily control the game to a perfect result, because our hero will automatically aim the target to the closest target, so we only need to focus on unleashing the skill that's ready. Every action will not consume any energy, only need to wait for the cooldown time in a short period of time. This game will allow us to see another player while in the lobby, but we should clear all of the stages by ourselves. There are 3 selections of the jobs. They are Warrior, Lancer, and Magicians. Best action RPG games for Android iOS 2024 in English version. Disney Mirror First. This game is absolutely phenomenal for a Disney game series. Actually, it's pretty a great move, which they made this game in RPG action hack and slash gameplay. And also, I really love the idea of we can get the whole main hero and also the antagonist of Disney character at all. We can get everyone through gacha, and for the first time we are able to pick one guardian from 3 selections, which is pretty good for us. Every hero will have the same power and really balance between the others. So we need to build up the star and also the level up and EXP by the EXP items that we can easily find after clearing the stages. The combat mechanism is pretty simple. We can swipe the screen to slide and avoid the enemy skill, tap the basic attack and unleash the skill then. But also if you have enough space and time, try to cast the heavy damage, but it will need more time to hold. On the Play Store, it's been downloaded by over 5 million players and get 4.7 stars. This is the best no-anime games RPG for mobile with a high graphic visual game for Android iOS 2024. Blade of God 2. Blade of God 2 Origins. This RPG game will be dominated as the best action RPG games for Android 2024. Trust me, look at how the developer always update the gameplay and look way better in combat. Especially the action movement is pretty smooth with a realistic visual. If you are looking for a soul-like mobile game, then this game would be your first list to play then. I remember it has more than 2 in times for beta testing, which already has the English version and will launch globally. The combat mechanism of Blade of God 2 Origins is quite challenging because every action we do will consume some energy, so we really need to maintain it wisely. Seriously, the level of the difficulty is really hardcore, especially when we face the boss at the end of the stage. His skill, his movement, his action is unpredictable at all. In fact, the damage is unreasonable. The music background and the game's vibe is a dark fantasy theme. This game is not good for a newbie, it's good for a hardcore RPG games lover. Best game RPG Android action games for mobile 2024. Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry Mobile Peak of Combat. I really noticed when the developer launched this game into mobile, many of the fans didn't really agree with the movement. And then the developer did so many beta testing month by month, and every time it has a new update, I can easily realize how the game's progress increased significantly. Especially right now, the combat mechanism is super smooth with a better graphic setting and playable on high-end phones. It will not consume a lot of battery anyway. The combat mechanism is absolutely the same concept as the PC but less inflaty visual on the skill. But so far, I'm really happy about it. When we can do a grappling in the air and don't let the enemy fall down easily. But also, we can continue the combo on the ground, but you really need to understand when we should switch the hero, because when we can do it at the right timing, then the hero will deal extra damage. Always try to find the new combos by combining 3 different buttons at a certain point. Our hero can transform into a stronger creature that will boost his strength and attack speed. This is best action RPG game for mobile 2024. Raziel Rebirth. Raziel Rebirth Dungeon Raid. I remember playing this game before with the same gameplay at all, but it has a different title. Usually it's because some of the game's developer buy this game and try to release it again on the Play Store. The gameplay pretty much look like a Diablo. It has a dark fantasy theme in ambience, the storyline and also the vibes. We can play the game with a top-down view perspective and cannot change the point of view, which is pretty good because the battle arena is wide and we will have a wider vision. The combat mechanism of Raziel Rebirth Dungeon Raid is freely unleashing the skill, even though every skill has a short cooldown. We can drag and aim some skill into a specific area we wanted to unleash the area of evac skill. This RPG game is a dungeon-based game, which we are only able to upgrade the characters while our position in the city. Actually, it has a huge size that you need to free up the space to download extra data inside. Best new ARPG games for Android iOS 2024. Jagger Hunter Legend. Jagger Hunter Legend. Please note what I said before you download the game. Make sure you have a high-end phones to run the game perfectly, because this game will cause quite laggy and not really smooth in mid-range phone devices. Seriously, this RPG has a high graphic with a beautiful background of cliff and mountains that make the game visual rendering higher. I tried many times adjusting the setting to make sure my playing experience become better then. The gameplay easily reminds me of a Monster Hunter, so we will hunt the huge monster with a variety of the beast creatures. All of the monsters will have an unpredictable move. We can dodge their attacks, but we need to keep hitting them and make the enemy become vulnerable in a few seconds. The hero will be able to pick up one weapon only and learn a specific skill based on the weapon we are choosing. Best high graphic game RPG for mobile 2024. Blade X Odyssey. Blade X Odyssey. Right now I'm at level 50. I really love to play this game as my daily routine. The game's graphic really hooked me on visualizations. Everything looks impressive, especially on the character details. Right now we cannot do so many features. There is only 4 dungeons and raid dungeons is available to play. We cannot continuously win the game in a day. We really need to manage the time of playing to gain more items and materials throughout clearing the dungeon. Seriously, every dungeon will take so long to clear the whole area, but mostly we should kill every enemy around which is always approaching us at the same time. There is a guardian system that requires a lot of materials to upgrade. We should defend her to clear the stages as well. I really love how the game's skill is not too flashy at all, such a great realistic graphic RPG game for Android iOS 2024. Dungeon Hunter 6. Dungeon Hunter 6, finally the newest sequel coming up to mobile after we wait for more than a year. Dungeon Hunter is one of the successful game series on mobile that was made by Gameloft. This game is well known with the game graphic and detailed visualizations. Some of the series has an open world genre and playable offline like a Dungeon Hunter 4. But honestly, the new one feels like they got an inspiration from a Diablo. How the game has a dark fantasy theme with a way more darker vibes. The combat mechanism is fully autoplay. I wish it would become no autoplay just like the successor, and it makes me feel so totally different. The combat mechanism is we can unleash the skill manually by dragging into the enemy, but so far the only thing I like is it's playable for mid-range spawns and run perfectly. Best action RPG games for Android iOS 2024. Mia. Bonus Mia. This is a very small size action RPG with a great action combat and high graphics, but seriously, the features are really little. We only can go into a training ground and change the character's costume by using an in-game gold. The combat mechanism is lets the player do a perfect block. So we just need to hold the block button, then the hero will automatically parry the enemy's attack in 360 degrees. But every time we do it, then our sword durability will reduce and be broken. After that, we only use a bare hand and kick into the combat. Every time we finish the stages, then we can select one of free abilities and upgrade it, just like an action roguelike RPG games. This is the best high graphic RPG games for Android 2024. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you all comment on the comment sections and like this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.